Hey, Dina here. Let's talk about this Sonic movie trailer. So I know I'm like far from the first person to make a video about this. Actually, I'm probably gonna be one of the last. But yeah, for what it's worth, I'm not gonna do a trailer reaction because that's what everybody else does. It's just kind of like my thoughts on the movie in general. So since the trailer came out, they've been talking about redesigning Sonic because fans complained about it, which there's been some like good and bad reactions to that. Some fans are really happy about that, and some are like, oh god, please don't overwork the artists. I have heard that they probably have a union and that probably won't happen. But yeah, obviously I hope we don't have a problem like with the video game industry where the artists get overworked so that they can improve on this thing at the last minute. First of all, let me let you know where I'm coming from, because I don't think Sonic has come up in my videos very often. I'm kind of an old school Sonic fan. I like the 16-bit games. My favorite is Sonic and Knuckles. I'd like to do a game den on that someday. I played Sonic Adventure a little bit, like when it was new, but I never really cared for the 3D games too much. I don't feel like Sonic works too well in 3D. But that's a topic for another video. But yeah, basically I like the 16-bit games. I never even really watched the cartoon that much, so it's basically just the 16-bit games for me. That's the era, I guess, of Sonic that I'm a fan of. So yeah, this going by the trailer, this movie looks pretty mediocre for the most part, but there are some things that stand out. I actually, for a while, I've kind of changed my mind about this, but for a while I started to think maybe they were making it bad on purpose along the lines of Sharknado. That seemed to be the point where Asylum became self-aware and they're like, oh, people like our bad movies, let's make a movie that's bad on purpose and see how that does, and the internet loved it. So, but yeah, would a major studio do something like that? I don't know. And that might be giving them too much credit, but with how the internet reacted, one has to wonder if maybe they knew that was going to happen and they were banking on it. Or it could be that it's not so much that the movie is being made that way, but maybe the marketing department, whoever put together the trailer, maybe had that sort of thing in mind. Like, I don't know. I'm starting to second guess that, though. Maybe it's not being intentionally bad. Maybe they were just lazy when they made it. Now, lately, I've been thinking about something, and this was kind of something my husband planted in my head, but I haven't been able to let go of it. It's really like hanging on there, and I don't know. Okay, so there are three things in this movie that have something in common, right? We have Sonic the Hedgehog, which came out in the 90s. We have Jim Carrey doing comedy, which was the thing in the 90s. And at least for the trailer, who knows if this song is actually going to be in the movie, but at least for the trailer, we have Gangsta's Paradise, which is a odd choice to use for a Sonic trailer, but that's from the 90s. I feel like maybe they're intentionally going for a dumb 90s action comedy vibe. Maybe they aren't going for dumb on purpose, but at the very least I feel like they're trying to evoke the 90s with this. That's kind of interesting. A lot of people have been complaining about the humor in the movie. I don't hate it. It's dumb, but it's dumb in a way that, I don't know, I find kind of charming and it gets a bit of a chuckle out of me. Who knows if I'll be able to tolerate an entire movie's worth of that type of humor, but at least for the trailer, I think the thing with the duffel bag is kind of funny.
Do you have your child in that bag?
No. I mean, yes, it's a child, but it's not mine.
I like the bit where Robotnik's telling off the guy, and like the punchline about, he thinks you're basic, sir, isn't that funny, but I like how Robotnik is looking off in this direction and the guy's trying to figure out what he's looking at. I don't know, I just find that amusing. And Robotnik, like, putting his tongue on the electrified quill and getting shocked. I also kind of like this little exchange.
Is that all you got?
No, but thank you for asking.
I thought that was sort of cute. Basically the thing that I think is going to carry this movie is Dr. Robotnik, because it's really interesting seeing Jim Carrey doing comedy again. He's almost evoking Ace Ventura a little bit. He's not being quite that extreme, but there's a little bit of Ace Ventura in there, and I'm sure fans of like the later Sonic games and the cartoons don't like Jim Carrey's version of Robotnik because he's not anything like that version. But I mean, to me, Robotnik is this guy and he doesn't necessarily talk, so I don't really care that much if he Robotnik can sound like almost anything to me. Kind of like this uniform type outfit he's wearing when we first see him. It's kind of with a handlebar mustache and everything. He looks kind of dapper in a cartoony way. Doesn't look anything like Robotnik, and when I first saw this trailer, I was like, But then we see sort of a transformation. It's like then he's wearing Robotnik's clothes, but he still has the handlebar mustache. And at the very, very end of the trailer, we see like 2 seconds of him with no hair. I'm guessing that there's an accident where his hair gets burned off because his mustache looks kind of curly and standing out. And they show him at the end of the trailer, and he actually looks like Robotnik. I was actually kind of impressed. I mean, I guess anybody would look like Robotnik if you'd shaved their head and gave them that kind of a mustache and the goggles, but I guess I wasn't expecting them to go there with this Jim Carrey version of him. Unfortunately, I suspect that, just as it is in the trailer, I suspect this is going to be like a post-credit scene in the movie. I'm worried they're gonna do a Gem and the Holograms thing. You know how they had, like, I think it was the, after credits sequence, they have the Misfits finally show up because they were so damn certain they were gonna get a sequel. And, yeah, that didn't happen. So I'm a little worried that this is what this movie's doing. Like, they're gonna have Dr. Robotnik show up in this post-credit sequence, and, you know, it's gonna be like, here's what he's gonna look like in the next movie, and then if the movie tanks, we're not gonna get that next movie, so who knows. I think it's interesting that there's giant mushrooms behind him. It looks like maybe he's in Mushroom Hill Zone. Like, does he end up on Sonic's planet? Because I guess Sonic is an alien in this movie.
Basically, it looks like I'm gonna have to save your planet.
I guess I don't mind that. I mean, Sonic is an alien. He doesn't really have to look totally realistic. They can make him look more like the Sonic in the games like they're saying they're gonna do. I don't know how that's gonna work out. Honestly, I mean, yeah, technically the trailer looks kind of mediocre, but like I said, there are some aspects of it I kind of enjoy, at least on a guilty pleasure level. I sort of like the 90s action flick feel of it, and honestly, if they redesign Sonic and he ends up looking good, I might actually kind of enjoy this movie. I'm actually kind of sold on Dr. Robotnik. I don't feel like I should be, but I am anyway. Yeah, if they make Sonic look good, because he's really Sonic is the main thing dragging down this movie, and that there's no excuse for Sonic to look bad. So if Sonic looks good, I don't know. It could work, maybe. Probably wouldn't be a great movie, but it might be entertaining, at least in a dumb way. So yeah, I guess that's all I have to say about that. We'll see how this goes. If nothing else, it's probably going to be an interesting train wreck. That's it for now. See you next time.